Yeah, welcome back to Coding Along. Today we'll be doing a landing page with a pop-out. I feel this is a very good beginner's project or beginner's exercise, especially because it has just a little bit of JavaScript. It's mainly going to be HTML and CSS. And as you can see here, this is the landing page. Just as a landing page should be, not too much text, just, yeah, welcome to the beach. Probably gonna change this to something else and a little bit of subtext, and then we have the button. And when you click on it, you see the icon here, the logo, the Coding Along logo, and you put in your name and your username and you click join. So as you can see, this doesn't have any validation. Yeah, I created a validation form tutorial, so if you're interested in that, you can go check the video out. We'll be using Visual Studio Code for this, and I'm just going to create a file real quick, a folder, call it landing page tutorial. And yes, so create our index.html file, our style.css, and app.js. We'll also create a image, not file, image folder, just to hold our images. And yes, that's about it. So we'll start with the HTML. This is Emmet. It's like an autocomplete. It's very useful. So if you don't have that, you should download it or install it in Visual Studio Code. So the title is landing page. And let's connect our CSS and HTML. No, CSS and JavaScript. Yeah, so that's done. So now we start with the basic. We're going to use a header for this, and this will be responsive. So that's another good thing about this tutorial. You will kind of learn a little bit of how to make a responsive website, but I will be releasing a full tutorial on that. So if that's something you're interested in, yeah, just keep your heads up for that. And we'll give our header, give it an ID, landing header. Okay, and we will have a H1 that says welcome to Coding Along, and also have a P tag. So now let's see what we're doing here live. Yes, so that's it. So now the next thing we're going to use for our button, we'll use an anchor tag. We won't use a button. We'll use an anchor tag for that. So and that this is going to have an ID. We'll call it button since that's what it's going to actually do for us. And let's say learn more. And this is it for landing page. It's going to be very simple since we're also going to have the pop-out. I figured let's not complicate the landing page too much. Now we can go to the CSS. We just set our everything, our margins and padding to 0. And the next thing is we're going to deal with the body. So the body will have a font family of now for this font family I'm going to use Google Fonts. Poppins. Yes, so we can see the magic works. Set the font size. Give it 17 pixel. And a font color. So the color for now, I will set it to, but I will change it because depending on the background we're going to use, I might still have to change it. And also a line height of 1.6. Just to give us give some spacing. So now we'll deal with the header or background image. Yeah, so we can see that a background image is just taking that part. We're going to extend it by giving the heights 100 VH viewports. We can see it takes up the whole screen because you have to just imagine that 10 viewports. It takes 10 times 10 viewports, which makes 100 to fill the screen. And now to make it responsive, because if I mainly because of you can see it's not responsive as it should be. So that's the next part. And we're going to do that by giving it a background size of cover, background position. And give that a center so it actually centers on the page. Using the flexbox to get this to the middle So the way we're going to do this is we're going to use display flex, and now we see everything is aligned like a row. And now to make it a column in the middle, we use flex direction. Now we'll make it a column. So yeah, so now to put it to the middle of the page, we'll use justify content. And I will be having a tutorial on Flexbox, a full tutorial going in depth into them and what you can do with them. So yeah, keep your heads up for that too. Yeah, and coding along, we do a lot of tutorials, so yeah, a lot of things are coming, a lot of new things are coming up soon. You see? So now it's gone down, and to put it in the center, we'll say align item center, and voila, it is in the center of the page. Might just add a little bit of padding, because when you see, now that it's smaller, there's no space here and here. For us to create a space there, we just add padding. So now, when we minimize it, you can see the space here. It just makes it better and more responsive. You can see no matter how small it is, there's still space between the text and the background, or the end of the screen. To do with the H1 inside our ID landing, our ID landing header. And this is just to make the font size a little bit bigger. Okay, this is just for H1. Exactly. So for H1, font size is 50 pixel, and we have a line height of 1.2 pixel. No, just 1.2. Just to create some space between the text and the buttons and the P tag in between the H1 and the button. So now we go to the P tag next. I'll set this one to the font size to 20 pixel. Yeah, so I can see it's a little bit more visible. And of course, after that, we go to the button. I remember the button, we use the class nib for that, so that's why we're doing dot button. And it's not actually, it's going to look like a button, but we're not using the button tag here, we're using the anchor tag. Set the font size to 18. Yeah, I would like us to see the button while we're doing it. Yes, this is okay. Yeah, like this. And to remove the color, because you know anchor tags have a default color of this bluish, or is it greenish, I'm not sure. and it's underlined. So to remove all that, we do text decoration. I will set that to none. Okay, that's not working. Okay, I have to check the anchor tag to see. Okay, I actually didn't make it I made it a class. I made it an ID instead of a class, so that's why it wasn't working. The moment I changed it, we can see it changed. So actually, text decoration is just to remove the underline. It's not to remove the color. To remove the color, we'll have to change the color. So I will do black for now. And we're going to give it a border so it has a look, or has the look of a button. Border of 1 pixel, solid, and color black. And of course we're going to give it a border radius, because our button cannot be looking like that. 10 pixels should do. Yes, but we can see the button is pretty close to the text here, and we need to create some space there. So we're going to use, to create a space there, we'll use the margin top and give it 20 pixel margin top. Yes, the button has finally gotten some breathing room. And add some padding to it to make it a little bit bigger, because when your buttons are big, they're more likely to be clicked. Yeah, so padding of 10 pixels, 20 pixels. Yes, way better. The landing page is done. That's the cool thing with landing pages. It's not a lot of text, it's not a lot of that much of design, because it's fully responsive. It's fully responsive. It stretches as the page changes its width and height. So we're done with the landing page, and now it's going to be the next part, which is the pop-out menu. If you liked the video, if you learned from it, give it a like and comment if you have any questions. So yes, watch out for part 2, which will be about the pop-out, and this is how it's going to look, the finished product, or the finished end project. Yeah, have a good day. Bye. Peace out.